So eyes closed, focusing inwards, landing in that place of hopefully familiarity inside, which is comfortable, deep, and very present. Doesn't matter what's going on around you, that you're able to stay with that in that centered, inclusive place. And we're bringing to mind again, Gobinde, Mukande, Udare, Apare, sustainer, liberator, enlightener, infinite or uplifter. Haryang, Karyang, Nirname, Akame, destroyer, creator, nameless, desireless. Aspects of the infinite that we are working on this evening. We're going to check in at the end of the class to see how that feels. This aligning with these aspects of the infinite after we've moved through all the exercises and meditations and pranayams that we're doing in this class tonight, how that aligning shifts throughout the evening. So let's bring hands together in prayer mudra. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Another deep breath in. Exhale. One more time. Deep breathing. Eyes are focused on the third eye. Chin is pulled towards the base of the brain. Feel yourself lifting up in the heart center, as if there's a string on the top of your head pulling you upwards. And from the back of the waist down towards the ground, feel the opposite. Stretch happening, stretching down, connecting the sit bones with the earth. So somewhere around the solar plexus, you find that change from downward energy to upward energy. And let's inhale to begin. Om Namo Om Namo Om Namo Adgure Name, Jugadgure Name, Satgure Name, Sri Gurudeve Name, Adgure Name, Jugadgure Name, Satgure Name, Sri Gurudeve Name, Adgure Name, Jugadgure Name, Satgure Name, Sri Gurudeve Name. Inhale deep, hold the breath. Full root lock, open up the heart center, roll the shoulders back and down, full chin lock, and allow that energy to naturally rise up the body through these different locks that we are applying. Root lock, diaphragm lock, pushing up into the heart center automatically activates the diaphragm. Chin lock, and exhale, release when you need to. And just sit quietly, feeling the effects of the tune in, and tuning in also to the triangles in your body. From the belly, where the apex of the triangle is at your belly, to your knees, down to the floor, and then from the belly upwards to the nipples. From the nipples, this is the base, upwards to the throat, where the apex is. From the throat, where the chin and the throat are in the same position, because the chin is pulling back towards the throat. From this position here, the bottom end, downward facing triangle, up to the eyebrows, and then an upward facing triangle from the eyebrows to the top of the head. So just feel all those triangles moving up the spine as you sit there. And align your body so that they are stacked one on top of the other, apex to apex, base to base. And then begin your spinal rotations and feel the body, the energy in the body shifting and changing as you begin to rotate and move those triangles. Stay very aware of the triangles and aware of the energy that is contained in those triangles, the parts of the body that are contained within the triangles, and how that energy starts to shift as you move. Stay very aware. So your movement is fast or slow, it's entirely up to you. Your focus stays very present on how the energy in the triangles is moving. Complete the circle and begin changing direction, go in the other direction. Come to the center, inhale deep, pause, pull root lock, feel the energy contained in the pause, and exhale. Keep your hands on your knees and begin flexing the spine. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale Sat, exhale Nam. Eyes are focused on the third eye. As you flex forward, pull your chin back. And as you flex backwards, stick your chin forward. As you flex forward, pull your chin back. as you flex backwards, stick your chin forward. So you're trying to keep your chin more or less in the same place by changing the angle. So you're sticking your chin forwards as you're flexing backwards. It's kind of counterintuitive. As you flex forward, you're pulling the chin backwards. Spinal flexors. You can begin to increase the speed of your flex. Keep the area of the heart open. You've got your hands are on your knees so that the flex is in the upper part of the back. Good, beautiful. Focus on the thyroid. Focus on what you're doing with that apex of the triangle that comes from your nipples to your throat and from the chin-throat connection to the third eye, eyebrow area. Last 15 seconds as fast as you're able to. Come to the center, inhale deep, hold, go into that pause, and exhale. For the moment, longer in the pause, breathing normally, and then slowly move onto your heels in rock pose. And continue with the spinal flex, but now you'll feel that the flex is slightly in a different place around the navel. So focusing on the navel area and the triangles that meet at the navel point. Inhale forward, exhale back. Get your shoulders involved, pulling the shoulders back as you flex forward, pulling the shoulders forward as you flex backwards. And again, as you flex forward, pull your chin backwards. And as you flex backwards, push your chin forward so that you massage the thyroid. You can begin to work up to a fair amount of speed. We've got a long Kriya, so we're going to have a short but intense warm-up. So use the time to really focus on the spinal column and how the energy in the triangles centers around the spinal column. Broaden your awareness so that you are able to hold all these points of connection at the same time with no strain. Last few seconds going at your maximum speed. And then inhale and hold in the center with a straight spine, full root lock. Stay in that pause, stay in that moment of suspension. And exhale. Extend the pause as you sit and observe while you breathe normally. And moving consciously and slowly, put your hands up on your shoulders. We're going to move the flex into the upper back. So this time as you inhale, you're going to drop your head backwards, stretch the chin up. Exhale, push the chin down, bring your elbows together. Focus on opening the upper back in the front when you drop your head back and you open your elbows out to the side. And focus on opening the back of the heart area. When you bring your elbows together, try to keep the elbows parallel to the ground as you breathe and as you move. Try to bring the elbows together in the front so that you get that maximum stretch, opening the back heart. Put your chin down onto your chest when you bring the elbows together. Lift the chin and drop the head up and back when you open the elbows out. So you get that maximum stretch. Try not to drop the elbows. Keep them open and up parallel to the floor all the time. When you're opening and stretching, open and backwards, and when you're closing and stretching forward and then opening up the back section. Come to the center, inhale deep, hold, and exhale. Keep your hands up on your shoulders and begin spinal twists. Inhaling left, exhaling right. Keep the heart center open and make that your leader. Your heart leads the movement. It originates in the navel. Let your chin chase your elbow round, both directions, so that the head is also turning and the neck, the pump in the neck is activated through the twisting of the head from side to side. Let the heart lead the way. Let your heart lead the way. If your chest is collapsed, the heart area is shut down. Feel if there is a collapse there. Might be very slight. Noticeable only to you as you observe. But you're slightly protecting your heart. You're slightly cowering, pulling back from life. Without judgment, just notice that. Come to the center, inhale deep and hold into the pause. Pull root lock to accentuate that pause, that suspended moment where everything happens. Exhale when you need to. And come forward onto all fours for cat-cow. When you do cat-cow, we're going to keep the back of, from the back of the waist down to the floor, we're going to keep that flat. So don't collapse your back like this. Keep this flat and inhale, opening up the upper part of your chest. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. Continue. All too often we make up for a stiff upper back by overextending and overstretching the lower back. So I want you to focus on keeping the lower back flat. And open the upper back. You can begin to move a little faster. Be aware of your upper back. Be aware of your lower back. Be aware of the triangles and the movement of energy, and how the energy in each one of those triangles is moving in a different way, communicating with the triangle above and below. Stay totally open and aware. Move a little faster. Last few seconds. And come to a level position, flat back. Inhale, stretch your chin up, open up from the heart, through the throat, through the third eye and the crown. Inhale deep and hold, stretch. Open, 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 extend the chest. And exhale. Good, and come lying back on your, flat on your back. We're going to do the bridge pose. Bringing your feet up to your buttocks, grabbing hold of your ankles if you can. If you can't, you can just put your hands next to your body. And we're going to inhale up, exhale down, nice and fast, 52 times. And keep going. Your own time, 52, but please go as rapidly as you can. Try to get the hips as high up as you can get them. Don't take shortcuts. All the way up, as high as you can. When you've completed your 52, just lie on your back. And relax. Just a little short rest before we start the Kriya. We're going to do the Kriya to change the lower triangle into the energy from the lower triangle to move it up into the upper triangles. The actual name of the Kriya is transforming the lower triangle to the higher triangle. In reality, there are many triangles in the lower half and many in the upper half. So we work to channel the energy through the lower triangles all the way upwards. The only way we can do that is to refine the energy in the lower triangles. So bring your knees up into your chest and hug them. Feel the lower back joint, the area where the energy from the earth comes up into your sacrum through the legs. Feel that area, massage it. Moving round and backwards and forwards until you come to a sitting position. Okay, so the theme for tonight's class is something that I've been working with this week, as usual. I'm always taking you on my journeys with me. So the theme that I've been working on and looking at within myself and within the community is really the power to sacrifice. And this is the, okay, thanks, Claudia. This is the penultimate step, the second last step to the final step of happiness. So the steps are commitment, character, dignity, divinity, grace, power to sacrifice, and then the final, the ultimate is happiness. And happiness in this instance is not kind of passing sort of happiness, happy kind of feeling. It's more a deep state of fulfillment and a state of contentment of being in the right place at the right time, doing the right things to fulfill your life mission, your purpose. What are you here for? So the power to sacrifice is the penultimate to that final state, where we're able to take the ego and all the ego's ructions and waves and, you know, lots of different things going on in the ego all the time. We're able to take it and shelve it and just go, okay, yeah, fine, no problem, and just put it on a shelf. And the way I relate to this is through the state of motherhood, because there's no question when you have a baby or a child that those needs come first and your ego just gets shelved. You may feel like it, you may not feel like it, you may be resentful, you may be angry, but in the end, that state of motherhood, if we're able to achieve it, of course many people are not able to achieve it, that state of motherhood gives that sense of being able to sacrifice, no matter what it is, no matter what your being is saying. You're able to put your needs aside and focus on the task that is in front of you. So that then brought me to this understanding, thinking about male and female energy, because all of us have female energy and all of us have male energy. So rather than looking at something that belongs to only one gender, we look more at how do the different types of energies express themselves. So female energy has 4 different ways to achieve liberation. And that is to give birth to a liberated soul. In other words, the work that you have done in your being gives birth to a liberated soul. You can see that as an actual physical birth, and which is the state of motherhood, or you can see it as you being able to birth another person into their liberated self. So that is then the act of a teacher. So we can give birth to a liberated soul, we can serve a liberated soul, either by marrying them or joining our lives together, or a teacher, you serve a teacher, or you can liberate yourself. So there's 4 ways for female energy to achieve Jivan Mukta, which is the liberated life. Male energy just has one way, which is to liberate itself. So we all have these 4 ways if we learn to utilize the female energy in the way in which it's meant to be utilized, which is to give you the capacity to put your ego aside and to achieve that state of very refined state of the capacity to sacrifice in order to achieve your life's mission. So that's really what we're going to be working with in the overall theme tonight, and how the triangles feed into that is if we are based in the lower triangles and we constantly going back and referring to life through the lower triangles in the body, the energy there is very dense, and it's going to suck you back in to the attachments and the ego issues that stop you being able to sacrifice. And you may have a million good reasons as to why you're not sacrificing, but all of those reasons are attached to ego and the mind state. So it's being able to fully observe your mind state and what tricks it is playing on you in order to persuade you that it is genuine, it's real, and it's something you must take really, really seriously. This is very tricky, and the more sophisticated you become in your refining of energy, the more sophisticated the mind becomes. So it's a very tricky state. It never, ever stops. You have to constantly be on top of it and able to see, to step back, to see the little machinations of the mind. So working through from the lower triangle to the upper triangle, we're then going to move into a state of meditation on the self and how to really project from that pure energy from the upper triangles, the energy that transcends the ego state, to project forward into how we can achieve that state of, that very exalted state of the power to sacrifice, not just for those who are closest to you, but for everybody and anybody, that you're able to put yourself to one side. So let's begin with the Kriya. We're going to begin with Camel Pose. So we go straight for the jugular with this Kriya. It's very intense Kriya. Okay, so coming onto your knee for camel. And again, you're going to do the camel that makes the most sense for you. Either this, where this is totally flat and pulling a tight root lock, opening the upper back, or your heels are raised, or you are flat. So find the camel that's good and comfortable for you. Get into the position. Find your balance in the position and really open up the upper back. We've done a fair amount of work to warm up the upper back. And we're going to do 1.5 minutes in this position, mentally inhaling Sat, exhaling Nam. And you will stay in this position for the next 1.5 minutes when we're going to do Sat Kriya in Camel Pose. So inhale Sat, exhale Nam. Try to visualize the hips directly over the knees and get your body to respect that alignment so that the base triangle is not leaning over sideways. It's direct, straight up. From the knees to the groin is a straight triangle. Inhaling Sat, limitlessness, the truth of your being. Nam, exhale, aligning yourself with that vastness as your identity. The Gobinde Mukande Udare Apare, Hariyang Kariyang Nirname Akame, the truth of your identity. You are able to sustain, you are able to liberate, to uplift, to enlighten, to destroy, to create, to be nameless and desireless. Last 15 seconds. Keep opening up the upper back. Be aware of the collapse in the upper back and stretch the shoulder blades apart. Stretch them open. Very, very important asana this. Stay in that posture and begin Sat Nam. Pull the navel and the diaphragm up on Sat and release it on Nam. It's Sat Kriya, but in Camel Pose. Do the best that you can. It's quite intense. Pulling the navel and the diaphragm up as high as you can on Sat and releasing it on Nam. And you're doing this aloud. You're using your voice to express that limitlessness. And feel how the upper triangle is beginning to shift and change. As the lower triangle opens and begins to shift, so it impacts the upper triangle. Last 20 seconds, keep it up. Inhale deep. As you exhale, immediately come down, put your forehead on the ground, hands behind your back, and feet off the ground. Find a position that is comfortable where you can keep your balance. Your feet are off the ground. You are massaging the knees. The weight of your body is on your knees, so your feet must be off the ground. Your knees often get locked. And by becoming locked, they stop the energy from being transmitted upwards. So your forehead is on the ground, and your knees are on the ground, and you're balancing. Your hands are up, clasped, and raised as high as you can in Yoga Mudra. Meditate at your third eye. Good. Feel the massage of the kneecap. A lot of energy gets locked in there, and then that energy won't allow anything to move beyond it. So balancing on the knees opens up the knee joint. A lot of what we do has got inherent in it opening up the locks that are contained in the joints, the blocks. Last 20 seconds. Inhale in this position. Exhale. Lower your arms, put your hands on the floor, and come sitting in rock pose. Just feel what you've done for a couple of seconds. And then take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, come forward into the same position, but now your hands are on the ground. You raise your left leg as high as you can, and you kick your buttocks. Try to make contact so that you are stimulating the point in the buttocks, depending on your body. If you can make contact, that's good. If not, visualize it. Pardon me. Your leg is right up high, 60 degrees. Up, up, up. Get that knee right up and kick the butt. And now begin breath of fire. As you kick, you're doing breath of fire. Try to raise your knee. Your leg needs to be up at 60 degrees. Get it right up. Not flat. up above the level of the buttocks. The knee must be up higher than the butt, much higher, as much as you can. So aim for that, and whatever you get is good enough. But mentally visualize that. Last few seconds on this side. And then change legs and repeat. Raising the other leg, your head is still down on the floor, hands next to your head. Other leg raised up as high as you can, breath of fire, and kick the butt. So very intense Kriya and very fast. We move from one to the other quickly because we're working to create the impact of raising and transforming the energy of the lower triangle so that the energy rises. The meditation on the self is informed by that. And inhale with the leg raised, hold it. And exhale and immediately come into celibate pose if you can. If you can't, put something under your buttocks. So take a cushion, protect your knees if you need to, and just put it under your buttocks so your bum is on something. And relax. Long, deep breathing. Deep and slow. Feeling the connection between your buttocks and the ground. So here in this position, the base triangle and the sixth chakra triangle are overlapping, they're overlaying one another. Breathe deeply into that awareness. And from this position, come lying down on your back. Raise your hands. If you can't lie flat, then put something under you like a cushion or a blanket. Roll it up so that you can lie on that. And from this position, we're going to do Sat Kriya. Sat, na, sat, na, sat, na, sat, na. And continue. Get yourself into a comfortable position that you're able to maintain. So you might need that rolled up blanket under your back and begin. We're on the timer. Again, Sat Kriya. In this position, your palms are flat together, pointing straight up. And you are raising the energy from the base upwards by pulling the diaphragm inwards and upwards with Sat, and then release now. And do it aloud. Breathe into the parts of your body that feel as if they're resisting the stretch. Allow the sound current to carry to all those parts of the body that feel resistant. Be patient with yourself as your body gently, gradually opens to your movement and your sound current. Less than a minute left. Continue with your Sat Kriya. Pull the energy from the base. Pull it as powerfully as you're able to this evening so that you can move through that very dense energy at the navel and the solar plexus. Those are like the gates to the heart. You have to use a considerable amount of energy, if not force, never force, but just intention. And inhale deep and hold. And project that energy upwards, outwards, and exhale and relax. Uncurl your legs and relax your lower back, however you need to. Lying flat on your back, relax your body for a few breaths. Give over completely to the energy of the earth that's holding you. The power of gravity, which is very predictable and safe. Allow yourself to feel held so that your body can relax. And then take a deep breath in and pull your knees up into your chest and hug them in. And again, massage that lower triangle by rocking from side to side. Massaging it, allowing it to relax into the earth, to release the energy blocks, and then roll forwards and backwards until you come up onto your knees in rock pose. We're going to repeat camel. So again, you're going to do the camel that is most comfortable for your body tonight. And we're just going to hold it with long, deep breathing. Open up the upper back. Make sure the base triangle is a straight triangle, not leaning. And you're on the clock. Long, deep breathing. Continue to feel that base triangle and the energy filtering upwards as you stretch open the heart area. The focus is on the upper part of your back. The lower part of your back must be very, very protected. Keep it straight, keep it strong. and breathe. And now please begin breath of fire in the same position, using the force of the diaphragm to transform the energy of the base triangles. So staying up in camel with breath of fire. Just 30 more seconds. And inhale deep and hold it. And exhale and come forward into good pranam. So stretch your arms out straight in front of you. Put your third eye on the ground and relax. Long, deep breathing. Let your breath massage your internal organs. Bring your palms together so that you're in prayer mudra. It's an internal prayer with your body. Your entire body is forming a prayer mudra. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and come up slowly. Come lying on your back. And we're going to do stretch pose. Raise your legs and your head 6 feet off the ground. Point your toes and breath of fire. If you're on your period, you have your menstrual cycle, you will not do breath of fire and you won't do both legs. You also might need to put your hands under your buttocks. Depending on how you are most comfortable with stretch pose, get into the position and begin breath of fire. Long, deep breathing if you have your menstrual cycle, and one leg, not both. Keep your eyes gazing at the toes as you raise your feet. This is really getting to that dense energy between the navel and the heart and transforming it. Do what you can. Try to stay up. Inhale deep and hold. And immediately bring your knees into your chest on an inhale and put them down on an exhale. Inhale, bring them in. Exhale, put them down. Your head is on the floor. Again, if you're on your menstrual cycle, you will only use one leg, not both. Too much pressure if you're using both legs. Long, deep, slow breathing. And long, slow movement. Put your legs flat on the ground and start from the beginning each time so that you set slightly more intense. And inhale both knees into the chest, hug them in and relax your body. Just rest for a couple of breaths. And then lift your body up into shoulder stand. Try to get as straight as you can. Again, if you're pregnant, menstruating, this is not something you will do. You can do it if you're pregnant, but only if you've been doing it every day. You can do it up until about 6 months. So up into shoulder stand, getting your legs, your body into the shape of a candle, like straight up. Support your lower back with your hands. If you suffer in any way with your neck, you need to put something under your shoulders. Unless you're absolutely sure that you're able to balance on the points of your shoulders, you should have something under your shoulders so that you're not putting pressure on the neck. So please make sure that you're absolutely up on your shoulders. Otherwise, put some padding on the top end of your mat so that your shoulders are on the padding, but your head is not. So your neck has space. And begin breath of fire in your shoulder stand. You can raise your legs up to 90 degrees if you are menstruating, and just hold them there. Breath of fire. Long, deep breathing for pregnancy and for menstruation. Shoulder stand, breath of fire. Last 30 seconds. Make sure you're on the points of your shoulders and not crushing the neck vertebra. And now slowly lower your head, your legs over your head into plow pose. Try to keep your back straight. Your arms are on the floor behind you. And breath of fire. So your arms are in the opposite direction of the feet. Arms are on the floor. That's it. Try to get your back from the shoulders to the hips in one straight line. And breath of fire. Remember that all that we're doing is really addressing this dense energy in the lower chakras that keeps us in our attachments, attachment to the finite identity of the ego, which very often says, I can't, it's too much, I shouldn't, I mustn't, I don't have enough, I'm not enough. So we're transforming that density so that even though we're aware of it, it's not something we identify with. And for the last 90 seconds, raise your legs back up into shoulder stand for those who can. For the others, just do your 90 degrees up in the air if it's comfortable with long, deep breathing. And for the ones in shoulder stand, breath of fire. Last 90 seconds. Try to get your legs up straight. Roll your upper thighs inwards towards each other so that you get the correct alignment of the hips. Keep the feet together. You're a candle. You're a flame burning. Last 20 seconds. Breath of fire. Please inhale deep. Stretch up into the posture. The final few seconds. And exhale. Roll down slowly. Controlled. And relax. Relax for a minute on your back. Just rest. We're going to repeat stretch pose. So the same exercise that we did, rising up 6 inches off the floor in whatever position you can maintain. Make sure that your lower back is flat if your hands are raised. Otherwise, your hands should be under your buttocks. And begin breath of fire. Do it with one leg if you're menstruating and long, deep breathing. Don't do it at all if you're pregnant. Just rest. We'll be going straight into the one where we pull the knees into the chest on the inhale and extend the legs to the ground on the exhale after this. So for now, continue with stretch pose, breath of fire, legs and head raised, looking at the big toes, pumping the navel. Keep the faith, stay strong, pump the navel, and transform that energy that blocks you, stops you, reduces you, and limits you. Very seductive, connected to very obsessive thoughts, i.e. repetitive. And inhale, deep hold. Exhale, relax. And immediately pull your knees into your chest on an inhale and stretch them out on an exhale. For 1 minute, long, slow, deep breathing. It's a slow movement. It's much more difficult when you do it slowly. Control the movement with your breath. Inhale, pull the legs together into the chest. Exhale, slowly extend them outwards. Try to stay with that long, slow movement, feeling that energy transforming as you tune into the breath and time it with the movement. And last few. And now we're rolling onto the stomach. So complete that movement, final movement of your knees into your chest and then roll onto your stomach. Interlace your fingers behind your back and raise up with breath of fire. Come up as high as you can. Keep your hands interlaced, your heels together, your back braced with root lock, and your upper back doing the work, pulling that energy upwards into the throat and the heart. Interlace your hands behind your back. Your feet are on the ground, heels together. Pull the hands up as high as you can and pull the head and the chest up off the ground. And breath of fire. You can't do this if you're pregnant, so just meditate. Use the energy and the muscles of your upper back and your navel to transform the density in the lower triangles. And as it transforms, it begins to rise. Try to keep lifting upwards, higher and higher and higher. You've got 30 seconds left. Work at it to create that transformation using the element of fire, the inherently transformational energy contained in fire. Last few seconds, powerful, keep it strong to the end. Inhale deep, hold it up, and exhale, relax down. Turn your head to one side and rest. Rest, relax. And then come back into the same posture, but this time you leave your head on the ground and your chest on the ground. So raise your arms up, interlace the fingers behind your back. Raise your arms as high as you can, and alternately kick your buttocks. Raise your arms up high enough so that they don't get in the way of your feet. And one foot at a time, kick your butt. For many of us, we won't be able to reach the buttocks. That's fine. Just the action of the lower legs moving is pumping that energy upwards. Kick, 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 kick. Fast, 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 fast. This is a fast movement. Raising the arms up as high as you can so that you're sucking that energy upwards through the action of the heart. One leg at a time, one leg at a time, alternate legs. You're not kicking both at the same time, one at a time. Your head's on the ground, your chest is on the ground. Your arms are up as high as you can get them, and you're kicking your lower legs. Stay strong, 15 seconds. And inhale, stretch the arms up, keep both legs up towards the buttocks. And exhale, reach back, grab hold of your ankles and come up into bow pose. Come up as high as you can, and a gentle rock backwards and forwards. Try to get as much movement as you can in your body, rocking forwards and backwards. Focus more on the navel and the knees than the head and the chest. Rock between the navel and the knees so that you stay high up. Stay bow, stay in a bow. That's it. Beautiful. Good. Stretch all the way up as much as you can get. Knees up. Chest open. And rocking between the navel, the knees, and the heart. And inhale up, hold it up. Beautiful posture. Up, up, open the head, open the throat. Good. And exhale. And relax. Relax your body. For a few breaths, just let your body sink into the floor. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, come up into Cobra. Upper part of the body, off the ground, from the pubic bone downwards, is solidly connected to the floor. So if you have to come up onto your elbows in order to ensure the correct posture from the pubic bone downwards is on the ground. So don't lift your hips off the floor. Take your arms further forward if you have to, just so that the upper back is raised. Good. And begin breath of fire. Keep opening up the heart, stretching the heart center. Stretch your chin upwards, your throat chakra, up into the third eye. Be conscious of all the triangles that you're working here. Try to make sure the heels are together so that lower triangle is activated by pulling root lock. Nice powerful breath of fire so that you're adding the element of pranayama to give force to the posture. This is a really powerful Kriya to do daily. Very, very strong. We're doing half times. So the full one is double the length of this. But half time is good. It's plenty. Last 20 seconds. Make your cobra really powerful. Use the energy of the snake. The transformational diagonal energy of the snake. Inhale deep, final stretch. Stretch, stretch, exhale, and relax. Relax your body. Slowly push yourself back, up, into baby pose, and stay there for a few breaths. And then gently come up on an exhale. And come sitting with the soles of your feet together, pulling them as close as you can to your body and opening up your knees as much as you can. And we're going to chant Obinde Mukande Udare Apare Hariyang Kariyang Nirname Akame with a rocking motion. I'm going to put music on, but this is the action. And the longer we go for, try to get the action deep down into the base chakra. Right down, you're rocking on the anal and the sex chakra, stretching the knees open as much as you can and getting that energy to rise up together with the chant. So if you don't know the words, I have put them on the chat. You can have a look at the words at on the chat. But please come into the posture. So bring the soles of your feet together in your knees wide apart. And just begin the action so that you get a feel for it. I'm going to share the music. Into it. And slowly come to a stillness and feel the bliss of that mantra and the movement in your body. how uplifting it is, how transformational that movement and the sound and the mantra. And then lie down briefly for a rest. Cover yourself so that you really contain all of that energy. That's been all the work that you've done to refine the energy. Let's keep that state going while you're relaxing so that the refining of energy continues. And we're going to breathe. So I'm going to take you through a guided pranayama to enhance that process. To get yourself into a comfortable horizontal position where your feet are relaxed, flopping out sideways, where the neck is aligned with the spine, stretched as much as you can on the floor, not crunched up or lying to one side. And as you're lying there, begin to breathe in the base triangle. So from the left heel up to the anus, inhale, and from the anus down to the right heel, exhale. So that you're tracing the boundaries of the triangle with your breath. Inhale, left heel to the anus, exhale, anus to right heel. And feel that energy triangle that you're tracing with your breath. Slow breathing. Keep your awareness steady. And now breathe from the just above the anus, so just below the coccyx, into the left hip, and exhale from the right hip down to the area just above the anus, below the coccyx. So trace that triangle with your breath from the hips with the apex just above the anus, below the coccyx. Feel the energy in that space as you trace the boundary lines with your breath. As your breath comes in, feel the energy in the triangle, in that space, filling in, so that you become more and more aware of the quality of that energy in that triangle. And now move from breathing in the left hip to your belly button, out belly button to the right hip. And again, feel the shift of the quality of energy. Be aware of all the organs also on a physiological level in that area and how they add to the quality of energy. And now breathe from the belly button to your right, to your left nipple, in, and out from the right nipple down to the belly button. And be aware of how the breath is shading in that area, in that triangle, as you breathe. Refine your awareness so that you're able to tell the difference in the quality of energy as you move up. Inhale from the left nipple to the hollow in your throat. Exhale from the hollow in your throat to your right nipple. Make sure you maintain your breathing diaphragmatically. Don't be tempted to make your breath shallow as you breathe into the upper triangle. Stay with deep diaphragmatic breath. And now breathe in from the hollow in your throat to your left eyebrow, out from the right eyebrow down to the hollow in your throat. And remember that your chin and your throat, that merges, especially when you're lying on your back, you have that sense. And now breathe from the left eyebrow up to the crown, in and out from the crown down to the right eyebrow. Be aware of the energy that the breath is shading in, the area that the breath is shading in, the triangle, right up at the crown. Be aware of what happens at the crown as you breathe in this upper triangle, how the crown area opens up and begins to communicate more with cosmic energy. Be aware of the quality, the refined nature of this energy. And now release the visualization and just be aware of the whole body, the length of your body with all the triangles stacked on top of each other, base to base, point to point. And begin to rotate your ankles and your wrists in alternate directions. Stretch your arms over your head. And then rub your hands and you'll do a cat stretch on each side. Twisting the spine. Rub your hands and feet in the air together when you're finished with your cat stretch. And come sitting in easy pose. Unfortunately, we don't have time to do the whole set that I wanted to do, but we're going to do a very beautiful meditation. It's a meditation on the life current into infinity. You bring your hands about 6 inches away from your face, and you look straight ahead. So you don't look at either of your hands, you just look straight ahead. And you bring your hands together until your pinkies merge and make a heart shape. So just practice. Looking straight ahead. At some point, as you're looking, your pinkies will create a heart shape. So just keep playing with it. Keep looking straight ahead, moving your pinkies towards each other so that they create that heart shape in front of your eyes, and meditate on that shape. It will change, it will shift, your vision will, you will double up, and then you'll find yourself looking at your fingers, the heart shape will disappear. Just keep playing with it. Hold your hands perfectly still and look into the distance, not at your fingers. Now you want to adjust this consistently until you see a little red space at the center of the heart. So keep looking for the heart shape. You'll find the heart shape fairly easily. But the red space, you need to really find that balance where you're able to hold on to the heart shape. It takes quite a lot of practice, so we're just going to experiment with this evening. Experiment with looking into that heart, that infinite heart that requires of you to change the way in which you see things. Keep playing with it. Keep your hands still as you can when you have that shape. Stay steady. It's like looking into the heart of the universe. If you look up or down, it's gone. You need to be totally focused and steady. You'll find the colors changing once you hit that place of steadiness. All sorts of things begin to happen. Notice how you have to look peripherally. If you look at it, it disappears. You have to find a spot where you're not looking at it, but it's there. This is your life force. Find the heart shape and then allow it to shift and change. Meditate on the heart, that little heart drop. See what comes through. Stay steady. Connecting to your own life current through the heart. That's why your arms get tired, because you go into a collapse. Just stay with it. Without being judgmental in any way, just stay with it. Keep coming back. It's directly connected to the heart energy. This is directly connected to the power to sacrifice. Staying with the heart current. It's elusive, shifts and changes. Last minute. And inhale deep. Exhale, put your hands in Gyan Mudra on your knees. Close your eyes. And begin chanting Gobinde, Mukande, Udare, Apare in the following way. Very important to keep the pause in between. So it sounds like this. Gobinde, Mukande, Udare, Apare, Haryang, Karyang, Nirname, Akame, Gobinde, Mukande, Udare, Apare, Haryang, Karyang, Nirname, Akame. Keep going and listen to the sound in the pause. The pause is really important. It's a choppy sound. Gobinde, pause. Mukande, pause. And continue. Listen carefully as you say the mantra. Let it weave you into an alignment which is completely different from where you were an hour ago. Last 2 minutes. Go deeper. And take a deep breath in. Wherever you are in the chant, hold it. And again, go into that suspended space. Suspending the breath, suspending the focus. And exhale. And again, inhale deep, hold the breath. And go deeper into the pause. And exhale. And relax. Relax your focus, relax your breathing, but stay still and observe. And stay open for whatever needs to come to you in these moments. Observing the energy that has changed. And staying connected to the other way. Bring your hands together in prayer mudra. And let's end with long time sun. Inhale and exhale. And inhale to begin. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on.